My beloved child, now pay attention to me. This message is not the same as others. It bears the weight of eternity and is a holy intersection. I am about to make a significant announcement. It is intimate, and it is engraved with your name, child. This isn't where you fell. I called upon you. I awaited the precise moment when your heart would be prepared to accept this, because the next thing I say will not only validate what has been churning in your spirit, but it will also release what has been suppressed for this long. Thus, you would be unwise to scroll beyond this. Don't stop. Don't skim. Stay with me. Lean in. Secure your position. Make sure to watch this through to the end, as a vessel, not as an observer, since every word is a key. And that's the very one you've been secretly praying for. This is a pivotal moment. God is observing. Hell is quivering, and your response will determine your fate. Take a moment where you are, my dear child, not just physically, but also spiritually. Put aside the continuous scroll of worry and unfulfilled plans, the noise, and the notifications. Without wasting my voice, I am addressing you directly. You must understand, this is more than a momentary thought or emotion. Your current reality is being invaded by an assigned instant in eternity. Because what I am about to deliver has eternal weight and unmistakable personalization, I have paused the cycles of heaven to mark this instant with divine intention. Yes, your name has been called out in the heavenly courts. It reverberated in the rooms where angels wait for instruction. They also moaned when I called it. You are still unaware of the favor that has been accumulating behind the veil, like thunder, in anticipation of this moment in time. I am sending something that has never been seen by man. It has never been touched by a human hand. The approval of humans has never been granted to it. It is untouched. It is sacred. It is brimming with authority. If I hadn't prepared your soul to bear the weight of what's ahead for years, it would have crushed you. Do not mistake this for hype. Comfort is not the same as this. This is divine urgency. This is destiny's heavy rumbling, calling from invisible worlds. And child, that whisper has your name engraved on its face in large fire-etched letters. Others have ignored you, but I have never done so. Your name has been protected, in addition to being remembered. As the world beckoned others onward, I was holding you back for something far more important than cheers. I have concealed you, not because I neglected you, but because what I am about to reveal could not be tainted by premature exposure. That's why it hurt. That's why it took longer. That's why you thought the doors were closing just as hope resurfaced, but today is different. Heaven has descended to earth, and all of creation is witnessing the declaration I am pronouncing over you. I'm not whispering this. I am shouting it into the spirit world. This child is mature. This is yours, and it is unheard of. There are no leftovers being delivered by the angels I assigned. They are bearing inheritances, blueprints, solutions, and keys that were hidden until your name was called. You may have thought of yourself as just another soul going through the seasons. Now, though, know that you were personally chosen for this revelation. This is not recycled breakthrough. Favors are not being reused here. It's coming in the shape of your calling and the scent of my breath. Don't you sense it? That burning, that trembling behind your ribs. It's not anxiety, it's alignment. This one, this child, has been found faithful. That is what happens when heaven intentionally kisses earth. So I am calling your attention now, not with a suggestion, but with holy insistence, because your name will be on everything I do next. I do not want you to miss any of these moments. I want to be clear, my dearest. Not only is it obvious, but it is crystallized with fire-forged truth that razes away all your doubts like armor. My actions in your life are not motivated by sentimental language or hopeful feelings. This is not spiritual sugar to ease your misery. The highest seat in heaven is sending this holy message, carrying a task encoded in your own language. It has your name written in full, not loosely or symbolically, but sealed with the indestructible seal of my everlasting power. My child, if this message touched your spirit today, click the Super Thanks button to show your faith and gratitude. Your super thanks is more than just a gift. It is a declaration that you trust in my provision and that you will help spread my word to those who are lost and searching. The blessings coming are not distributed widely. This is the unquestionable, unavoidable, and changeable precise delivery from heaven. Child, you must know this. This moment is anything but casual. I'm putting nothing recyclable into your atmosphere. Everything happening now has been documented in the sacred archive since the beginning of time. Though some may think it's coincidence, you will know better. It is a covenant. Do not allow the adversary to use this against you. He would love for you to believe this is all hype, a fleeting moment of inspiration. But I do not use temporary traffic. I do not believe in mere seasons. This has sovereignty. I am not merely trying to evoke strong feelings in you. I am establishing you, shaking the atmosphere, the weight of generational change. The substance of a sealed promise and the gravity of glory are all contained in what I release over you. Surely, you've been craving something genuine, tired of meaningless statements, empty predictions, and promises that evaporate the moment suffering returns. That is why I waited to release this dispatch until now, for it is not another consolation. This is confirmation, fortified by heavenly strategy. It is a personal scroll I am opening, child. It cannot be copied, forwarded, or postponed. God, was all this silence for nothing? You've waited in the dark, your questions burning beneath your breath. My response, even if it is not thunderous, is truthful enough to cut through any falsehood that ever told you your name was unimportant. You were not forgotten. You have been reserved. This dispatch does not bring confusion. It comes through with clarity, and you will start feeling it now. An abrupt internal change that jolts the part of you used to uncertainty. You are not going to get a recommendation. You are entering a directive. I will not speak lightly. These words will ignite the portions of your soul you thought had turned to ash, landing like fire on dry wood. You are not entering into a proposal. You are embarking on an assignment. This message carries guidance, wisdom, and understanding that no lecture or sermon could provide, because I am empowering you, not merely educating you. What I'm offering is more than words. It is weaponry. You've been fighting a new battle with old tactics, but with what I will give you, your perspective will be transformed. And when you receive it, notice how confusion lifts, the commotion settles, and the mess of misguided expectations vanishes. You will see what matters and what never did. When my authority seals a moment, no counterfeit can deceive you. Here, child, I am not merely giving advice. I am imparting the ability to receive without hesitation, to move boldly, and to advance with divine authority embedded in your consciousness. Others may have made you feel you needed to prove yourself, to be flawless, but I am not limited by their expectations. You were my unlikely choice. In the waiting, I matured you. I will release this message at a moment only I could ordain, where your surrender and my sovereignty meet. And when you truly believe it, you will know that this is not fantasy. It is intervention. You are not crazy. You are called. They are not mocking you. People are trusting you. Your proof is the dispatch you're holding. Every hour you stood motionless with trembling faith, silently waiting as time mocked your hope. My child, I saw you. Even when you did not always feel strong, you persisted. It wasn't always clear, but you chose trust over retreat. Even when you couldn't pray aloud, your spirit whispered my name. With all of heaven's weight behind each word I say now, the wait is over. I am placing in your hands what I have held in mind for you as a lasting trust, not as a test. What I am giving you is substantial. It is not light. It is not casual. It is sacred. It will resonate with your soul. The transformation, the transition, the settling of something that is as much a part of you as your own skin. This is not a badge. It is a mantle you wear with honor. It is yours. Not because you performed well, but because you held on when retreat would have been easier. Do not mistake my patient stillness for absence. Every moment you felt unseen, I was crafting scenarios that needed divine choreography and timing. I was working as you waited. I was writing as you wrestled. And now, the sacred handoff has begun. What comes next in your life is not meant to feel familiar, but significant. This is not a reward for effort, but a release of responsibility. You are not simply being given something. You are being entrusted with something holy. What you endured was not punishment, but preparation. You were bewildered as you journeyed through the unknown, but construction was underway. Every setback that nearly broke you was an opportunity to forge resilience that no spotlight could produce. What once seemed like scattered pain is now forming a heavenly pattern. I was not simply patient with you. What I am placing in your hands would have crumbled under the version of you before the waiting. I was solidifying your foundation. But you are ready now. Do not be surprised if what I place in your hands causes you to leave old habits behind, dear one. It is meant to. When something weighty falls, everything shifts. Your relationships, your mindset, your very posture will reflect it. What used to satisfy will not anymore. Old spaces will feel too small. That is not pride. It is alignment. I am raising you to match what you are carrying. Therefore, know this will change you. I waited until your spirit was mature enough. You asked to be used, but I had to be certain you were trustworthy and strong enough. Because you waited while others settled. Because you stayed while others fled. And because you believed even when others scoffed with full fatherly joy. I place this garment on you, not with fear or guilt. It is yours. The moment is now. Walk as though the weight you bear was fashioned for your hands. Guard faithfully what has been entrusted to you, for its significance will transform more than just your world. It will resound through generations. What I am giving you is not merely a breakthrough, but a blueprint. What you build from this will bear the mark of heaven. It will bless your children. It will change your bloodline. Cycles will be broken, not because of what others offered, but because of what I gave you when only I was watching. So lift your head, precious one. Stretch out your hands. You and the weight are holy. I have chosen to place it in your hands, right here, right now, where it has always belonged. Now listen, child, to the silent corners of your heart that only I can reach, not just your ears. What I am bringing into your life is not a copy of another's innovation. It is not a rehashed story, pieced together from fragments of others' triumphs. Neither recycled grace nor reheated favor is at work here. This is the original. It is crafted. It is unique to the kingdom. With the accuracy of a divine artist who is aware of every scar, tail, and thread of your soul, I have etched what is ahead. In heaven, I didn't take something off a generic shelf. In the furnace of intention, I shaped it for you. It bears the color of your anointing, the shape of your anguish, and the aroma of your prayers. You've questioned if the item you requested was too large, too damaged, or too far away. I'm not sending you pieces, though. I'm sending fullness your way. This isn't nearly. This isn't close enough. Years of honing, reorienting, and connecting you with what only I could build have culminated here. You could have heard from others to settle for crumbs. They persuaded you to lower your hopes, lower your dreams, and lower your prayers in order to avoid disappointment in the future. However, I never advised you to give up. I didn't ask you to silence your faith. Furthermore, I never used leftovers to write your story. Oh, and I didn't postpone what I am sending now for punishment. It was kept safe, similar to how a great chef will hold off on preparing a meal fit for a king or queen until every component has ripened to its fullest. I have waited until the temperature of preparation was attained by your heart, character, and judgment. I don't trade in fast food favors, you see. Miracles are not something I microwave, I marinate them, I absorb meaning. I allow what I'm creating for you to soak in the depths of my power until it comes to the surface, carrying not just what you desire, but also what you need and what future generations will eat. There is more to this than timing. This is orchestration. It's not late. There are layers to this. It's not just carved for your soul, child. The pulse of heaven has been used to time it. I was connecting timelines that covered years, people, continents, and spiritual territories while you were pacing your room wondering if I had forgotten. You hadn't even entered the stories I was weaving yet. I was opening doorways you haven't even imagined, creating atmospheres you haven't entered, and rerouting hearts you haven't met. And now, what I secretly created for you is poised to overflow your current reality like a river spilled from behind a dam. Indeed, it will feel too much to handle. You've never walked in something so exactly like yours before. So yes, it will feel strange. A vow that was crafted for your legacy as well as your life has never felt right to you. And you'll know when it comes, because nothing created by man could ever seem so sacred. This freedom could never be achieved through coercion. This peace could never be carried by anything stolen. This isn't arbitrary. This is not hurried. Grace, this isn't a rough draft. I've created a masterpiece that enters your story at the precise moment it was always supposed to. When it arrives, don't flinch. Don't back down because you believe it's too much. Don't question your deservingness. I enjoy giving, and you don't have to deserve it. All you have to do is identify my fingerprints. They're all over this too. The miracle structure is engraved with your name. No one else can wear it. Even carrying it will be impossible for them. It's adjusted for the crush you managed to tolerate, created by the same hands that kept you going on the nights you doubted your ability to survive. So, kid, take a deep breath. This custom, this empire, your share is on its way. It's also quite near. How many times did you whisper, "God, where are you, oh dearest?" You held your breath for how many hours, aching to hear something that sounded like me, pleading for noise, hoping for a sign. I guess you mistook my silence for absence. But I was never still, kid. Stillness was never where I was. I never slept through your pain. I was working, moving, and rumbling like thunder in rounds that were invisible to your sight and inaudible to your ears. You sobbed into your pillow as I roared over your fate from behind the veil. Every moment you felt like nothing was happening. I was creating something so complex, multi-layered, and precisely tailored to your soul. Silence was necessary because the most sacred things are created in silence rather than in tumult. The spirit realm was exploding with activity on your behalf, even if the surface appeared empty. Heaven was fighting for your vow, even though you couldn't hear it. Timelines were twisted to fit your calling, angels were sent, and chains were broken. Your suffering, your bewilderment, and the opinions that attempted to silence my truth in you were all overshadowed by the thunder of divine coordination. I wasn't ignoring you, I was shielding you so that no adversary could discover what I was preparing. I was enclosing you in a bubble of divine secrecy. My work isn't a general release, it is not a nebulous boon, it is a breakthrough in surgery. It carries your spiritual DNA. In other words, it breathes, thinks, and moves like you. It is appropriate for your vocation, your injuries, your abilities, and even the conflicts you have yet to face. I couldn't rush it because of this. Customizing something takes time, and child, pay close attention. To allow your roots to grow deeper, I let the silence linger. You wanted answers. I wanted architecture. You wanted clarity. I was creating capacity. Since the weight of what's coming required depth rather than noise, I had to let you delve into the ground of trust while you were unable to sense me. And now that the groundwork has been established in the dark, the light will reveal the explosion of fulfillment. The results of the choices you made when no one was looking will start to show. You and I had conversations that nobody heard. The prayers you muttered while crying are now resonating in rooms filled with petitions that have been granted. Soon, the world will start to realize what I've always seen. You weren't merely waiting, they were weaving you. You weren't fragile, they were strengthening you. So prepare, kid. Clarity will soon replace the silence. The invisible will soon become indisputable. The witness that trembled the ground is going to become the thunder that shook the invisible. Now, what I've transferred covertly is bursting into your atmosphere with promise, purpose, and accuracy. Something so uniquely yours is about to arrive. Your doubts will have to bend as well. No one will require you to prove anything. Whatever I release will have more impact than any justification. I am aware that it was awful. I am aware that the quiet almost broke you. It was never empty, though. It was carrying a purpose. Now your very soul is going to reverberate with the sound of what I've been doing behind the scenes. You'll see that it was more than just weight. It was identity. Your name, essence, and DNA are all contained in every bit of the promise. This isn't a random occurrence. This isn't borrowed. This is already on its way to you. For a while, my dear child, lift your soul above the cacophony of this world. Shut your eyes. Stop your mind from rushing, and listen with your spirit's frequency rather than your ears. The silence you've become accustomed to has broken. The murmuring of the heavens has stopped. They're roaring, roaring with the thunder of breakthrough, with the slamming of doors that no man can close, and with the sound of celestial feet marching across kingdoms. Feel it? Have you noticed the change in the air? It's not your fantasy. It's not emotional hype. It is the sound of the fresh start I have planned for you, breaking through the barrier of postponement. It's not time for your next season. It's rupturing. Like a seed exploding through the dirt, like a dam releasing decades of pressure. What I have said over your life is now happening, roaring with urgency, sealed with your name and wrapped in splendor. You wondered at night whether heaven had gone silent, if your prayers dropped like dust after striking the ceiling. However, I can assure you that the silence was amplification rather than disinterest. I was creating a sound so loud, heaven-born, and spiritually disruptive that it would silence every accusing voice that ever attempted to label you worthless. Heaven has been working on a release symphony for you. Right now, the instruments of mercy, justice, restitution, restoration, and resurrection are all playing in unison. No sooner, no later. Can you hear it in the spirit right now? The sound of ancient shackles snapping, keys turning in locks that held you captive for too long. Your former stagnation is being brushed by the wind of heavenly mobility. Child, this isn't wishful hearing. This frequency is supernatural, and your name is on the breath of heaven, making it vibrate. And pay attention to me. It's not a quiet sound. It's not secure. Like a lion's roar announcing its territory, it is untamed. It signals the end of one conflict and the start of another, and it is as terrible as thunder clapping across a battlefield. There will be a lot of noise when I give you this triumph. They will see you. They will hear you. With this season, you won't go overlooked. You've already been announced by heaven. Angels have reacted with reverence when I have spoken their names because of your tenacity. I've publicly announced your transition, and knowing that the change is irrevocable, the dark regions have shuddered. What I've previously said in the spirit will now start to be echoed by the earth, that the moment has arrived for you. This is your hour, and it's me, not man, who is lifting your name. Therefore, don't freak out when things start to move quickly. Don't back down when people act suspiciously. Don't fight the sudden shifts in the surroundings. The roar has landed, as evidenced by the trembling. So, I advise you not to suppress the hope growing within you. Dreams that seem too loud for your present situation shouldn't be silenced. Don't try to look modest by stifling the excitement. You're experiencing prophecy, not pride. What you have hardly dared to believe is being declared by the heavens, that you're not forgotten, that you're not late, that you're not overlooked. I'm releasing a sound so rare and sacred that it will realign every aspect of your life that was out of tune. Yes, child, the skies are roaring, and their roaring isn't just noise. The sound of you is making them thunder, and everything that has been made reacts when I speak louder. Thus, remain motionless and sense it. This is how your season begins to unfold. I need you to know something, child, and I mean it. You're not waiting by yourself. You've never been alone. From the first hint of surrender, from the instant you whispered, "God, I trust you," until your voice entered the gates of heaven, even when you said, "I don't understand," the order was given without discussion or delay. Released. I sent troops in answer to the heavenly council's utterance of your name. Not just any angels, but warrior-trained ones. Those tasked with breaking down barriers and carrying blueprints. Those who are prepared to defend your future and who know it well. They're not getting ready. Their wings aren't being stretched. They're on the move. They pass with rage, decisiveness, your name written on their commands, and fire in their wings. And this isn't metaphorical, kid. This is real. Now is the time. The evidence is in the shift, even though you can't see them. Have you felt any tension recently? The inexplicable restlessness, the unforeseen holdups, the abrupt spiritual strain, the odd bursts of intensity in everyday settings. It's no accident, it's collision. When angelic action starts cutting through demonic interference, that's what happens. That is what occurs when heaven starts to carve a way through impossibly difficult terrain and the spiritual and physical collide. Help was released when you begged for it. Assignments have been activated in response to your entreaty for change. Reinforcements have been sent into your environment. Carriers of clarity, messengers of movement, and sentinels of strategy. They don't show up confused. They arrive precisely. Furthermore, they do not arrive passively. They come with purpose. Even as you read these lines, the atmosphere is shaking around you, not out of dread, but in reaction. The friction of a spiritual shift is causing the molecules in the air to vibrate. All of the delays and disappointments you experienced were hell's attempt to stop what I had already released. But I don't send my word without a witness, and I don't send angels in vain. You will know without a doubt that something otherworldly has entered your orbit when what they bring collides with your natural. Observe how those around you start acting differently. Notice the forceless opening of doors that have been locked for years. Observe how serenity appears in unexpected places. How does it arrive without reason? Where walls previously stood, paths now appear. These are not random occurrences. Intervention is indicated by these. Therefore, pay attention to the urgency in your soul. If you feel an acceleration, don't ignore it. I'm not merely making vague promises. Purpose is being activated. There's a lot of movement at the moment. I'm not expecting you to work hard either. My angels don't need your performance, they require your consent, so please remain prepared, maintain your alignment, stay positive, stay a fighter. You forgot you prayed for these answers, but they're on their way, with keys to doors you believed were welded shut, and with affirmations you didn't even realize you needed. Furthermore, they are not going slowly. There is a heavenly urgency to their movements because the moment has arrived, and you are no longer in the waiting phase, dear. The epicenter of release is where you are. There is nothing breaking down causing the shaking you experience. There is a breakthrough happening. I'm not only delivering you a blessing, my love, so listen to me with your spirit open. I'm starting a shift now. The two are very different from one another. A benediction can provide solace. A change may present challenges. Your present state can be improved by a blessing, but a holy change nevertheless. Anything in your life that I did not construct will have its scaffolding destroyed. Any rhythm you've settled into that isn't in harmony with my spirit will be disrupted. This is not a present for the season. This interruption is supernatural. You prayed for growth, transformation, and a new level. However, what I'm going to do will do more than make your finances better or lessen your suffering. I am causing your spiritual foundation to tremble, to expose, not to destroy. There isn't turmoil here. The adjustment is here. Let's use placement instead of punishment. Righteous, not random. You've been pleading with me to bless your creation. However, I love you too much to abandon you to buildings that cannot contain what I am going to pour. This change is occurring in waves, abrupt, sweeping, and all-powerful. Relationships, priorities, emotions, habits, and even your innermost thoughts will all be impacted. Since you'll be moving things you've grown accustomed to, it will initially feel like destruction. But keep in mind, dear, that comfort and calling are not the same thing. In reality, some of the things you've adapted to are enemy missions designed to divert, postpone, or weaken your destiny. And now I am entering like a beam of light into a closed room, like fire eating dead wood, like thunder cutting through small talk. This adjustment is not typical. This alignment is divine. Your existence is full of endless layers, and I've seen the pattern you forgot. The dreams you buried behind disappointment are visible to me. I see the roads you gave up on because fear pretended to be wisdom. And now I'm here to shift, not to bargain or explain. I won't ask your calendar for permission, child. I won't wait for you to fully comprehend. When heaven makes a change, it does so with authority, not agreement. You've been feeling the stress because I've been forcing your existence back into the shape of my original design. You've sensed the sudden intolerance of old behaviors, in the way some people no longer fit, in the way your desire for superficial spirituality and talk has changed. The shift is declaring itself. This is heaven's divine adjustment, readjusting your destiny. because I'm reintroducing you to what is and what is to come. I've been loosening your attachment to what was. I have been taking down the scaffolding of survival and placing the steel of significance in its place. At this point, I interrupt everything that doesn't echo what I said over your life before the womb. Therefore, don't fight the pain, child. When the familiar breaks down, don't panic. Drop it. Allow it to shatter. Let the things that were not created by me fall apart without your help. You have carried enough dead weight. You have apologized for progress, covered for dysfunction, and avoided your calling out of fear of hurting others' feelings. However, pleasing people is not my business. I work in divine positioning, and I'm positioning you prophetically, not gently but brilliantly, not politely but purposefully. I'm not making a kind recommendation. Every last aspect of your life will be aligned, anointed, and appointed as I begin this sacred transformation. Accept the disruption. Embrace the disruption, because the blessing is arriving through the transformation, not merely happening. My loyal companion, allow me to remind you of something I always remember. I witnessed everything. Each time you put obedience ahead of convenience. Each time you chose to move forward when retreat seemed easier. Every quiet yes said through tears. You walked through spiritual fog with faith. I saw every act of love as your heart broke. You assumed no one noticed, and indeed they didn't. No one applauded or assisted, but heaven recorded it. Angels watched. I watched as a loving parent, not as a detached judge. Every invisible act of faithfulness, sacrifice, and offering has been counted, and now I've declared that it's time for public reward. The prize of the invisible is not a token, it's a trumpet. This isn't a compliment, it's an unveiling. You will see what I am placing in your life, not to disprove others, but to fulfill my word. The same places where you once wept in the dark will now shine with my favor. When it wasn't noticed, you served. When it wasn't appreciated, you gave. When it wasn't earned, you forgave. Your recompense has arrived, child, and it carries the fragrance of every unseen offering you've made. On nights, you wiped your tears alone to keep helping others. On days you were overlooked and misunderstood, you remained faithful. You didn't chase platforms, you pursued prayer. Because of this, what I'm doing now won't look like a promotion. It will look like providence. Your process was unique, and so is your portion. This is not manufactured. There is no manipulation here. This is my own hand lifting you up. Don't be surprised if you end up in the spotlight, not because you sought it, but because you were faithful in the shadows. The reward of the invisible is not a paycheck, it is placement. I'm positioning you where preparation has qualified you, where the world thought you didn't belong. Receive this time with a steady heart and open hands. Don't apologize for open doors. Don't justify the favor I've released. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're not stealing attention, you're stepping into appointment. Let them wonder how it happened. Let them ask who gave it to you. Smile because you'll know it was me, the one who saw you when no one else did, who whispered strength into your exhaustion, who never let a single tear fall unseen. This is the moment when private faithfulness is publicly acknowledged, and you are entering it not by coercion or fame, but by unwavering faith. The reward of the unseen has arrived, and it is glorious. Hear this from the very core of who I am. From the voice that formed the stars and knit you in your mother's womb, you are no longer in seed time. You are in harvest. The moment has come for what once looked like quiet delay to be revealed as sacred preparation. The soil you sowed in was drenched with tears and marked by surrender. Every heartbreak, every silent act of trust, every time you gave while empty planted something eternal. Through grief, you sowed. Through worship, you watered. And now the ground itself can no longer contain what's been growing beneath. This is the divine announcement from heaven. The miraculous tipping point has arrived, the turning from buried to blooming. The seeds you planted in obedience have stretched through the soil of sacrifice, matured through struggle, and thrived under pressure. They did not die in the dark, they developed. The ground where you once knelt in brokenness will now yield abundance. I never allow a seed of trust to go fruitless, child, and the fruit you will see will be overflowing. People will ask, how did this happen so fast? Not realizing the years it took. They didn't see the cost, but I did. I saw your hidden sowing, secret discipline, and long obedience. Now hear me clearly. It's a great harvest. Not a single miracle, but a cascade of them, an outpouring so vast that it strains your capacity to receive. It's a harvest not only for your needs, but for your name, your family, your generations. The breakthrough will silence doubters. It's more than fruit, it's proof. Tangible, visible, undeniable proof that I never forgot you and never wasted your waiting. So open your heart and hands. Don't brace for disappointment. Anticipate joy. I am keeping my promise, and joy is now pursuing you. Restoration will surpass loss. What once made no sense will blossom with reason and reward. It's no longer seed time. It's harvest. And it's happening now. Yes, I know there were moments when you thought I moved on to bless others. Each time someone celebrated what you were still waiting for, I felt your quiet ache. You didn't speak it, but I heard the pain of delayed hope. And yet, you kept showing up. You kept praying. You kept worshiping through silence. I did not forget you. Not for a second. I wasn't distant or disinterested. I was deliberate. You were being prepared like fine wine maturing under pressure, hidden, not abandoned. Some blessings require readiness, and the weight of what I've been shaping would have crushed you too soon. So I covered you, not to punish but to protect. Holy things are hidden before they are revealed. You were not buried to die, but planted to grow deep roots. What I built in secret could not be destroyed when the time came, and that time is now. It has been marinated in your worship and seasoned with your tears. It bears the aroma of your obedience and the taste of your sacrifice. This spill was not intended for someone else and just happened to find its way to you. This flood is intended for you. And the precise scale of the pain you endured in quiet has been measured. I observed you during the nighttime seasons, you see, the moments when no one inquired about your well-being or understood the extent of your suffering. However, I was aware. Every interior strain was felt by me, every unseen hardship. I witnessed the times when you grinned despite your inner turmoil. It wasn't weakness that hurt. It demonstrated your ability, and I make divine architecture out of that pain. I molded the blessing to fit the contours of your pain. I am releasing an abundance that was not mass-produced. It was made by hand. I considered more than just your potential. I heard your suffering. Let this overflow fill every gap, I urged, drawing the outline of your buried heartbreaks. Let each scar be matched by this prize. Allow healing to occur precisely where the wound used to bleed. I never ignore the pain that faith offers me, child. I multiply it until it is full. And now I'm letting loose a flood that your previous suffering cannot stop. It's about to overflow, not only in worldly possessions, but also in happiness, tranquility, liberty, strength, clarity, and heavenly surprise. It won't be arbitrary. There won't be any confusion. It will fit like a flawless robe in your heart. You will find yourself crying because of the precision of my supply, rather than the anguish. God, how did you know? You'll ask. And since I was there, I'll tell you. When no one else was around, I was with you. You didn't have to explain what you required to me. I recalled and felt it. This overflow won't just replenish, it will redefine. It will change your perception of me, your self-perception, and how you perceive what is feasible. When my richness is freely poured into your hands rather than being filtered by fear. So now, child, open those hands. Wipe your eyes with preparedness rather than sorrow. The table is prepared. There are people in the room. Furthermore, I have silenced those who stated, "You'll only ever get what's left," since they were mistaken. You're not getting crumbs from the miracle of another man. You are getting the whole amount, the surplus, the specially designed plenty of a God who understands how to lavishly, profoundly, and perfectly bless. No one is tolerating you. They're trusting you, and they're already releasing your overflow. I'm pouring out this hour for more than just you, child. It is intended to have a cascading effect. This particular ministry is the conduit for the oil I'm applying to your life. Giving is not the same as donating. You are stitching into destiny, into the awakening of souls throughout the world. According to what I believe, he who refreshes others will be refreshed himself. Proverbs 11:25, and I'm doing that right now. The message is not pausing at this point. It is an activation. You requested to be utilized. You prayed to be a part of something greater, and now I'm telling you to back the sound that has been uplifting you. Therefore, use the PayPal link below or the Super Thanks membership. Increase the reach by a factor of 2. Set your seed free. Watch as I lavish it with blessings. Take action now. You have this moment. Now listen to me, child. Please lean near to me. Allow this truth to envelop your soul like a robe. There will be no need for force in what is about to happen to you. There won't be any effort needed. Pushing, dragging, and begging your way into areas you were always meant to be in will no longer be necessary. You've knocked on doors. A few slammed. Others said nothing. Some opened just enough to give you hope before closing again. And I witnessed every second of it. I witnessed the confusion it brought about. I noticed that knocking had left your knuckles bruised, your soul fatigued from thinking, what else should I do? However, I am now reversing the rhythm. This next act of kindness won't be forced. It will happen naturally. Without a sound, doors are going to swing open. They're not going to creak, and they won't fight back. I've already called your name over there, so they'll give way. You must comprehend this. Man's consent is not necessary for what I have given you. I'm not awaiting their blessing. Gatekeepers who did not construct the gates are not people I consult. Systems that were sovereign in the first place are not the ones I ask for permission from. Every boardroom, committee, and human delay have been circumvented by the favor I'm releasing. It's straightforward. It's divine. It's already on its way. Additionally, it will circumvent protocol upon landing. Hierarchy will become confused. It will take precedence over artificial ceilings and red tape. You'll ask, how did I get here, as you survey your surroundings? And I'll respond based on my spirit rather than your plan. Because I'm not using performance to elevate you, I pledge to release you. Furthermore, my favor is not brittle, it is fierce. It has been fire-tested, and it follows you because of who you obeyed rather than who you impressed. Provision is on the way. It won't trickle in, believe me. It will pour with urgency, purity, and divine timing, not slowly, not with conditions, and not with strings attached. a provision for which you did not apply, provision that recognizes your needs and meets them before you even express them out loud. I'm referring to unanticipated settlements, surprise deposits, and unselfish gifts from unexpected sources. I'm referring to heavenly arrangements that are unexpected, yet were pre-written into your life story. Don't even consider assuming a false sense of humility when it occurs. Don't give an explanation. If someone claims it couldn't be you, don't strive to make it acceptable, because this provision was not created by man and does not belong to him. You should stand in it, live in it, and testify to it. I did it. Therefore, don't knock on doors that I've opened. Don't ask to see what I've already given you. This flow is new, one where you are preceded with grace, one in which you do not battle for favor, one where you arrive and doors open, because you are recognized by the atmosphere. It's authority, not arrogance. It's placement, not pride. You have been marked by me. For you, I relocated, and no man can stop what heaven has already released. So, I'm going to make it very clear that you were always supposed to go through. Walk humbly, but walk with full expectancy, because the doors are opening, the favor is flowing, and the supply is pouring. Take a moment, my child, and allow this truth to seep into your bones. The winds have changed. You are now starting to move forward with the same winds that once blew against you. What once stood against your calling is now being commanded by God to give up what is rightfully yours. When you encountered resistance, you faced unyielding walls, unyielding doors, and unhearing hearts. Those were temporary obstacles, brief assignments designed to challenge, mold, and polish you. However, the assignment is no longer valid. The license for the opposition has been revoked. The one who controls the wind and the waves has taken away the power of resistance. Now, everything that was in your path is being forced to move by divine will. Don't misinterpret this situation. As the prophecy matures, the pressure is changing. The opposition was not winning. What had appeared to be surrender was only training. I was the one who trained your soul to withstand adversity. You see, instead of just singing in the sunshine, I needed you to grow powerful in the winds. I am delivering a promise that is not for the weak of heart. It's for those who have been tried, tested, and persistent. You passed the test, child. My child, if these words make your heart feel my presence, then take this message to those who need it and share it with your friends and family. Subscribe to the channel and join us on this journey. Amen.